that Governor Evers has issued say nothing about restricting his ability to issue commutations. A commutation is the shortening of a sentence, and so that's one option on the table still for Brendan Dassey. And as for his rules regarding pardons, those rules say nothing about the case of someone who is actually innocent, like Brendan Dassey. When you have an innocent person sentenced to life behind prison, that's exactly the situation that the clemency power was tailor-made to address. This is a case that federal judges have called a profound miscarriage of justice, and we're calling on Governor Evers to remedy that injustice today.
Yeah, Evers, where you at?
Oh, man, Laura.
Sorry. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah. Am I muted?
No, you're not muted.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody. We're waiting for the wonderful
Scottish lass.
Scottish lass.
Yeah,
I was just thinking in my head. I was like, I hope I don't. I know I get this is my own naivety. I get Scotland and Ireland mixed up sometimes. And
I do too.
and I know they take. I would too. I would be offended by it too. But like that's why I'm like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You didn't mean to. But we're Americans. What do they expect?
I'm a naive American and I'm stupid, so please take mercy on me.
Yeah,
take
I don't know my geographical routes anymore. I haven't been in school for so long. It's like I can't tell the difference between east, west, north, and south.
So while we're waiting for Alice, I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna show off some stuff I was showing.
Go
Linda
right
earlier.
ahead, show that beautiful stuff. I love
hold
it.
on. Let me fix my hair real quick. And,
oh, you look beautiful. What are you talking about?
I just got off from work. I just
woke up. Not too long ago.
Okay. Yeah, don't look at my laundry. Don't look at my laundry. But so I got some merch from our store. Here's
what, dear?
I accidentally put my green screen on.
Oh.
so when I put this up, see when it went.
That's funny. Yeah. You can only see the dragonfly a little bit. Yeah.
That's funny. Okay.
Yeah.
I was messing around with settings while we were talking. Anyway, so as you can see,
yeah, that's green screen. That's a good effect, though.
Yeah, this is the sticker. This is the sticker I bought, so I put it on my microphone.
Hi, Alice.
Hiya.
Hey, Alice. But yeah, I got these stickers. We're gonna be doing a giveaway coming up soon.
Yeah, them are big stickers. So show them.
These are huge. These are like, here's my face, right?
Yeah, look at how big.
Yeah. These are big stickers, but they're cute. I like them. I like the color. They're really clear. They're really like the text is really awesome. Like I love them. And and then here's the mask. I got the mask. I took it out of the package because I wanted to actually look at it and the quality of it. Free Brendan Dassey. Brendan talks. So this is also something we're going to be doing a giveaway on. So I'm going to be giving this mask away. I did wear it once.
Yeah. See, the funny thing is that the same designs that you did, I did too. Exact same thing.
Really? That's funny.
That same way when I was thinking of this months ago,
Yeah, Linda's been wanting merch for our channel for a very long time, haven't you, Linda?
Yes, I have, because I really knew people would want the stuff and love it, and they do, and I'm so glad. And honestly, the shirts you make are beautiful. I cannot wait for mine to come out. The one that I gave you the idea for. So I like that. And how are you, Alice?
There we go.
Okay, yeah, I actually didn't realise what time it was. I was out cutting the grass while I could.
So your knee must be better.
Yeah, the knee's better. Well, that's why I was trying to get the grass cut before it decides to swell back up again. So and I came in and I checked my phone and I'd seen the message from Becca and I was like, oh no, is it that time already?
Yeah. Yep. And I said to her, I said, well, I know Alice absolutely loves doing this, because when we weren't doing it, she was like, well, hopefully we'll be.
Yeah.
So, sorry, guys.
So, just to tell everybody also, I know people have been ordering merchandise, and Kim, I'm excited to see what you order. I can't tell who orders what unless they tell me, but if you tell me, I'll tell Brendan, because I'm really excited about this stuff, and I know he has been too. And two, I've been collecting pictures. So if you have ordered merchandise, you have gotten merchandise, please consider taking a picture and sending it to me so I can send it to Brendan.
Yeah.
Or you can even send it to Brendan. He just gets really, huh?
I was just gonna go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'll finish.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine. It really brightens his day when he sees people out there advocating like that for him, like putting his name out there and like remembering him and day-to-day stuff like that. That's so, like, it warms my heart, and I know it just makes him so happy. So. And
it warms mine too. And I'm really hoping that we get a lot of people that have ordered and keep ordering.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Everyone has just been so. Everyone's just been really. Responding very well to it. This has been amazing.
And I would like when we get those, you could do like, well, this is this series that you did.
Yeah.
And then what I mean, you can make those little videos you do.
Yeah, I'm so excited about next merchandise. I was showing Linda, and it made her tear up. So that's a good sign that it's good.
Yeah. It's a very strong message. The one that I gave you the idea for is a very, very strong message. And it did make me cry when I seen it. I was like, yep, that's powerful. And that's what we want. We want a strong message to people. So they will really look at this and ask you questions about what you're wearing. What does that mean? Like my brother, I wore mine yesterday. People looked at it. I don't think people are, some people don't want to approach you about it. But even my brother, who, on why I didn't know he knew all this, because he should have.
Yeah.
But he was like, well, how old is that kid now? And what, and I just, strikes up a conversation. In other words, people will ask you, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
well,
I think that's great.
That's the name of the game, is to get his name out there, get his story out there, get people talking about it and looking at it and asking you questions like, who's that kid on your shirt? Yeah. Absolutely. That's exactly why we're doing it. And it puts some money in Brendan's pocket, which is
great.
Which is great. Yep. So yeah.
His family is are simple people, like most everybody here. Very simple, they don't have millions of dollars, and it helps to take the burden off of them, which they've already had a lot of burden for this many years. So, and I'm very excited about their visiting opening up on the 9th. I think it is. Pete said the 9th, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just before a rally. Yeah.
Yeah, and Kim, if ever, and this is for anybody, if ever you see something in the store and you can't get it right away, because I understand life happens.
Yeah.
And let's say like the T-shirts change and you still want that T-shirt, just let me know. And like I'm not, it's not that big of a deal for one person to get a T-shirt, but yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there.
Give us a partner,
huh?
we can, like I said, we can, as a channel, we can do like a giveaway a month or something with something, have a trivia or some kind of game or something,
Yeah. Well, that's why I have a bunch of merchandise coming to me, like the stickers and the masks we're going to do a giveaway on. There's some other stuff that I have coming that I was going to do a little giveaway on. So we're definitely going to have that in the future. I sent Brendan a bunch of questions, and slightly harder ones that I thought of off the top of my head that I don't know if anybody else has asked him, sort of things. So we're going to have like a trivia night coming up soon. I think we're going to have it during the rally even.
Woo woo, that'll be great.
I think that would be
Carolyn
fun.
O'Brien's. Carolyn, she said she's impressed on how fast she got hers. I am too. I'm really surprised at how some of the people over in England, like Wiz,
I know. Yeah. It seems like within days after they order, and I'm still sitting here like, where's my sticker?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, but that's great. It's like, just like I said, all the money goes to Brendan, so keep ordering, and yeah.
Well, prom dress is very important, Kim. We understand that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Life happens, and like I don't want anyone to feel like they missed out on something.
Right.
Especially the I know, like the Brendan shirts with the blue background. That's a really popular shirt.
Yeah, that is. Everybody loves the way Brendan looks on that.
So, I don't blame you. Like I even ordered myself one of those shirts. Like my favorite shirt was the other one, but I ordered myself the other one because I was like, it is a really nice looking shirt.
It is really nice. And I am very excited about the next one.
Oh no, you guys have no idea. So I probably I think during rally, when we're at the rally house, where I'm not allowed to say the nickname I've been giving the house we're going to be staying at, because apparently it's inappropriate.
It's the motherfucking murder house.
I was calling it the murder house.
Leave it to
I was calling it the murder house, not because we're gonna murder there or a murder happened, but because of making a murder, and I thought it just sounded better. I don't know, but anyway.
And we are all murder friends.
We're
brought
murder
together
friends
through making a murderer, so we call each other murder friends.
Anyway, so during probably one of the nights while we're at the rally house, murder house, whatever, we're gonna do a live, and I think that's when we should do the trivia.
You're right, Carolyn. It is. The writing on the back lets you find out about Brendan online without even having to ask. I know. I like that.
That's why that website is so cool and important to me, because it's like a one-stop shop for everything. It's just one page. The lawyers really did a good job with that. So that's why I really like putting that out there. The lawyers advocate for it. That interview's on there. The
YouTube address too. I like that.
Yeah. Well, the YouTube, because we have, promote the channel.
Of course.
Trying to get our name out there too for Brendan. So.
Right on.
All right, enough jibber jabbering.
Yeah.
So I believe we left off at line 6. This question, because I have it highlighted. So I'm just going to reread that question, I guess, so that way. Context of this is that we're still on Meow, Len Kaczynski. This is the first time I haven't had time to read ahead, so this is the first time I'm reading this stuff too. So we're all going to be in this together.
I've read some of this stuff.
Yeah, Linda's read some of this stuff already. I know the last thing that I remember them talking about is that Len Kaczynski was saying that he was doing a lot of press stuff. He was trying to talk to Brendan through the media, but he really wasn't, but he was. And he was trying to talk to his family through the media, but he wasn't, but he was.
Yeah, everything he wasn't, but he was.
And Dvorak.
Mostly wasn't. Dvorak, you said it right.
Yay! Yay! I did it.
You did.
Thanks. Dvorak asked him about one of the questions he asked him was about the Miranda reading of the Miranda to Brendan on February 27th before questioning, and they didn't, and he was asking why they didn't make a big stink about it, and he said because it didn't have anything to do, blah blah blah. Anyway, so
got more excuses than fucking Charmin's got toilet paper rolls.
Yeah. So we're on line 6. If the class would like to follow along. So question from Dvorak. Yeah. And the advice here given to Mr. Dassey, the point was that his case was pretty much hopeless, and that really what he ought to be doing here is focusing on a guilty plea. So again, he's going over the whole, Len Kaczynski had no interest in trying to prove Brendan Dassey's innocence. During this whole entire trial and anything, he had absolutely no interest on trying to say this kid is innocent. It was all about, you need to admit to guilt, you need to admit that you did it, you need to take a plea bargain.
Yep. That's it. Straight up. That's it.
That's all Len Kaczynski. Yes, he set up a polygraph test with Brendan, but then O'Kelly then told him he failed it. So I feel like the whole point of why he's like, sure, let's do it. Maybe this will convince him to admit to guilt.
Just for show. For show,
yeah,
Becca.
Maybe this will. No, I really, honestly, I feel like he only agreed to doing the polygraph is because he knew O'Kelly was going to tell him that he failed it.
Yeah.
And that way Brendan would be like, fine, I'll admit to it. I did it.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened.
Nope. That's exactly what I think, Becca. I think because Brendan asked for it and they knew themselves that he had nothing to do with what happened. They knew it.
Yeah.
But they still persisted on doing the test so that they could turn around and say to Brendan, no, you failed. And as you say, to see if that would kick him into gear to say, all right, okay, I done it.
Yeah. I honestly feel like that's the only reason why they did the polygraph test. Because it wasn't used in court or anything. And you can't use it in court. But still. They didn't, I'm surprised they didn't, does anybody know if they, oh my gosh, my cat. Okay, sorry. Does anybody know if after he took the polygraph test, if they actually put it out to the media that he failed it?
I don't believe they did.
Okay.
Because well, let's put it this way. Nobody knew that he passed it. They all knew he failed it. So my guess would be yes. It was put out somewhere at some point. That he failed. But the thing is, they knew. I mean, I have a feeling, reading so far what we have read, that it was actions of they're doing something, doing nothing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's a falsehood. It's a shadow of truth. Right. You know what I'm saying? They had a plan. They all sat down at a table. Like one lawyer told me, they all go up to a motel room. They sit and pass out who gets what, who does this, who does that. They make plans for that shit, which is true. They do talk like that. But I have a feeling that all along, his only plan, like you said, I'm going to make him say he's guilty. I'm going to get a plea deal because that's all I do is plea deals. That's basically what Kaczynski was. And O'Kelly got emotional with it,
Well,
and he was on the side of the prosecution because his emotions for this poor girl, he couldn't be what he was supposed to be, which was on Brendan's side, okay, or at least on the side of the defense. If he was, maybe he wasn't supposed to be on any side, but he certainly took a prosecution side.
Yeah, and the tears that he pulled in court, that was just covering his own ass because he was getting found out to be a liar and be working for the state. So he tried to turn it around and get the sympathy with the jury and went, oh, I'm just thinking about those blue ribbons.
Yeah.
I don't think that they let anybody know about Brendan's lie detector test because if they even said that they'd done one and the
press would want to know.
The people would go looking for the test.
And then they would see that was inconclusive.
That means that it'll come back and it'll say that it shows that he was telling the truth, but yet they lied to him. Then that's another nail in the state's coffin. You know what I mean? And there's no way that they were going to do that. No way.
See, that's so to me, like I said, to me, the only reason why he took the polygraph test was to show Brendan, you are lying and you need to tell us what we need you to tell us.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why he took the polygraph. That's the only reason why he agreed to the polygraph test. That's why I feel like he didn't give a shit how little O'Kelly, because O'Kelly was willing to go along with him, even though in this he's like, oh no, me and O'Kelly didn't do that. I had no idea Kelly was doing that.
Right.
No, I think he knew. He took direction from Len Kaczynski and and did what he did.
Well, Ken, like Kaczynski said, he was trying to do two things. He was trying to get messages through the press. He was trying to get Brendan to plead guilty. Okay.
Yeah.
And the lie detector test, once he found out I would think that Len would use that against Brendan. You know, saying, he's found this.
He did use it. He did use it against Brendan.
Not even that.
Yeah, go ahead, Alice.
Not even that. If any of the family found out that he took that test and he passed that test, they would have been shouting that for the highest heavens.
It only came out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That he passed. So for 14 fucking years, this kid thought he didn't pass, and his family thought he didn't, and society thought he didn't.
But to the family and to Brendan's credit, I mean, most of Brendan's family knew he was innocent from the get-go.
Yeah, but I'm saying legally or in a,
I do take like that's pretty like awesome of like his mom and dad to be like, no, my son's innocent.
Yeah, no matter what.
No matter what this says or anything like that, we know our kid's innocent. Like that, I think that's pretty awesome. So,
and you can't, and it's not only Brendan that was on trial; it was his family too.
Yeah, I mean, what bothers me is the fact that they're not submitted into court for evidence. Right now, to me, a lie detector test is more accurate than eyewitness testimony.
Oh, yeah, I would think so.
A lie detector test is at least between 95 and 98% accurate most of the time, and whereas the eyewitness statements can change and everything like that through time. Whereas somebody who's supposedly or committed this crime does a lie detector test and it comes back and tells you that they're telling the truth, then I think that should be able to be used in a court of law more than what an eyewitness statement is.
Oh, yeah. 30% of wrongful conviction, or 33% of wrongful convictions are from eyewitness misidentification. Yeah. So that goes to show you how accurate it is. Okay. Well, hate to bring it up, but Chris Watts took a lie detector test. That's how they found out he was guilty and answered him. Okay, we ain't going to go there. I'm just talking about the lie detector test. That's it. Just that part. Right. I was basically trying to give an example, but I shouldn't have went there because I know Becca.
Trigger word.
Sorry, Becca. Sorry, I apologize. The Londoner. Yes, it is shocking. It's extremely shocking. 2 years, a little over 2 years ago, when I found out about this, I cried. I was down for a week. I'm not even lying to you. I couldn't get up or nothing.
If you go to Brendan Talks Discord, I don't know if you're in there. We do have his lie detector results and notes and all that stuff from that. So if you want to look at it, it is very shocking and interesting that it was given to him. It was given to him and he did pass it, O'Kelly told Kaczynski it was inconclusive, which was a lie, and then O'Kelly told Brendan he failed it.
Yeah, so. And I want to tell you, Allie Apperson was the one that told me. I'm glad I didn't find it out anywhere else because I absolutely lost my mind. And she did a live about it, and she said, unfortunately, Linda's unable to join because she was. Yeah. I was so distraught. I was absolutely appalled, hurt, mortified because this poor kid thought all this time he didn't pass. You know, that's what bothers me the most about this case is he tells the truth, they tell him he's lying. He tells a lie, they say he's a good man. What the hell? It is that's the worst part for me.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Nan's
okay.
Lie detector tests are not admissible in court. That is correct. They are not admissible as evidence in court, but law enforcement use it a lot to either it's like a test. Like if you have nothing to hide, then you would take the lie detector test. If you fail the lie detector test, then we know that you're up to something and blah, 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 blah. Then we'll use that against you somehow to get you to confess more. But if you pass it, then we'll try something else. That's how I view lie detector tests. I believe they're junk science. I don't think they're reasonable use, to be used as far as evidence-wise, because you can
work on sociopaths.
Yeah. Sorry, my mom just said they don't work on sociopaths. So, because
she is correct because they believe their own lies. Exactly.
But that's the thing. The lie detector tests only monitor blood pressure and something else. And if you can control your blood pressure and all that, then you're going to pass it.
If you're a pathological liar and you believe every lie you're told, you'll pass it.
Yeah.
But Brendan meets none of them. Brendan is not a pathological liar.
And I'm actually really impressed that he passed it, which means that, because I know if you have anxiety issues like I do, you couldn't take it because it would show that you're lying no matter what you say.
Right.
Like I have chronic anxiety. If you hook me up to a lie detector test and ask me what my first name is and I said Rebecca, it would still show that I was failing because I'm freaking out.
Right. I have anxiety too. I agree with that. I always said that.
Yeah.
I always said, man, I have anxiety. So if I ever had to take a lie detector test, it would show that. Because I'm in a room with a bunch of strangers. I got to tell you, that would make me extremely nervous.
Exactly. You're in a room with strangers and cops are standing there and be like, oh, if you don't pass this, and then you're just like, of course I'm going to freak out. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But anyway, so continuing on. So his answer, I think I really was more strongly in the direction once a decision was made on the motion to suppress. That basically our only hope, in my opinion, based on the evidence available to have to acquittal. The confession was suppressed. The state would probably have to dismiss the case for lack of evidence as far as I knew. So, and then his question, right, and you are making that known to the press. The fact that if the judge suppressed its evidence, that Dassey may walk. Mr. Dassey would walk out the door. And he said, I believe so. So let's see. For some of the you were aware that O'Kelly went out to was St. John's Church. What is the significance of St. John's Church in this case? If anybody remembers. And then he said, question, April 24th. It's not in your notes. I'm just asking a general question. What's the significance of St. John's Church? Offhand, I can't remember. Okay, does it have anything to do with Teresa Hallbach? I never followed the end of that case that closely and might have. There is a significance to St. John's Church. If he went out to St. John's Church and took a photograph of St. John's Church, do you have any idea why he might do that? Yes, that would be for the purpose of perhaps persuading Mr. Dassey to reconsider his position that he didn't commit the crimes he was charged with.
What?
Does anyone remember this?
What?
What did he do? Wait a minute. Did he just say it would?
When he took the pictures? When he took pictures and then he laid them out in front of Brendan?
Yeah.
And then he said, look at this photo. Look at that photo. That's part of why he went to St. John's Church, because he was going to take a picture of it. I think that's the one with the blue ribbon.
Yep.
So that's the significance in it. So that's why he had...
Why would you send somebody that's fucking just supposed to take a goddamn lie detector test off to take pictures to make your client be guilty?
That's what I'm saying. That's the significance behind it. He had O'Kelly go to places significant to Teresa Hallback to take pictures, to bring him
He's
back
supposed
to
to be
Brendan.
defending him. He's not supposed to make him feel bad about something he never did.
Yep.
That is so screwed up. How could he
Yep.
not get a retrial on that? I mean, I don't get that.
Okay,
Oh,
so at this point,
Lord.
then, Mr. O'Kelly had given you his opinion about Mr. Dassey. You had conveyed your opinion to the Dassey family, as well as to Brendan, that they did not believe his claim of not being involved in this. You, at this point, were setting out to try to convince him otherwise. Did I summarize? And then he said, yeah, I believe that would be fairly accurate. Summary. Okay, so maybe St. John's Church did have something to do with Teresa Hallback. Of course it did. I might have. it might have. Okay, on April 25th, there was contact with 8 members of the press. That's correct. That's the only thing he did on that day, other than review Mr. Avery's motion for adjournment, correct? Well, there was also email from Mr. Kelly, okay? And that took 2/10 of an hour, those 2 emails? Right. I wish I could have a job where all I did was talk to people like the press and then write emails.
Yep.
Yeah,
You get paid
against
for
what
it.
you're supposed to really be doing. Yeah, against what you're supposed to be doing. Against. Where is defense in this motherfucker's mind? Sorry.
Sure.
Sorry for my language. I'm just so heated up right now that I honestly do not believe this. I don't.
My dog is getting heated up too. Did you hear him?
Yeah, agreed.
He's like, yeah.
I'm mute because I'm too angry, so I'm staying muted. I'm really angry.
Okay. You got an email from Dean Strang, as well as one from Mr. O'Kelly. And in that email, you thank Mr. Strang for sending information regarding false confessions, or at least stuff that Mr. Buting had sent you, right? He said, I did. So that's interesting. I'm going to highlight that real quick. Sorry. That he got an email about false confessions from Mr. Strang, which he wiped his butt with, I guess. Yeah. Was there anything new?
And
Yeah.
that Jerry, and also that he got stuff with Jerry. Remember, I said in a few of the last ones, in Illusion of Justice by Jerry Butin, he says in there that he pulled Kaczynski to the side and told him that Brendan's last lawyer didn't do everything that he needed to do for him, so Kaczynski had to do something about it, and he said to Butin, I'll think about it. No, I'll definitely do it. I'll think about it. I would have punched him in the face. I would have. Think about that? No, you'll do it.
He did that about the February 27th interrogation where
you tell him, Dieter. You tell him. You tell him how mad you are about this shit, Dieter. That's right.
Sorry, guys. My dog's really has a lot of feelings about this. About the February 27th, where Dean Strain pulled him aside and said, hey, he didn't get his Miranda warrant, his Miranda rights read to him. You should do something about that. Is that what you're talking about, Alice?
Yeah. It was something like that. It was a Miranda hearing or a preliminary hearing, or something like that. That I remember. And Jerry, grabbed him and said, "Look, they never done that for Brendan. He's entitled to it, so you must do it for him." And he says, "I'll think about it," and then does fuck all.
Yep. All right. So he said, I did. And he was like, yeah. Was there anything new? Was there any new information that you didn't already know about confessions in there that you recall? And then he said, I read it. I tried to collaterate it to the known facts related to Mr. Dassey. I mean, I thought it was interesting, but I didn't think it was persuasive.
Whoa. What? Oh my word. Oh my word.
But I thought that if Dassey rejected my advice and decided to go to trial, it certainly would be useful material. Okay, but there's no doubt that the focus of your investigation and your proceeding at this point is to convince Mr. Dassey of futilely doing that. These are a lot of big words, huh? A lot of fancy words. Well, I always previously, reviewed particularly emphasis on the timeline, at least one witness that somebody had asked me to talk to. I believe it was an employer that had called the Dassey household. Ooh, we were talking about this recently. So I also at least looked at the alibi possibility as a defense. But I concluded that it wasn't going to work very well. They were not very convincing witnesses. They called the house. What do you mean they weren't convincing witnesses? They called the house. Shouldn't there have been a record of them calling the house?
Yeah. Yep. Hey, FOIA people. Hey, write it down. Let's get this shit. I'm telling you what. I am so fucking mad right now. I can't even fucking stand it. I'm so sorry.
This is something that we were talking about. This is why, if anybody wants to talk about join the foul play group, and the description or the Discord link is in the description of this video. It's always in the description of our videos. We discuss things like this continuously, and that's one of the things that we've been discussing in the foul play Discord is where do we have the phone record showing that somebody called? Because by all intents and purposes, that's a witness to show that Brendan Dassey wasn't involved in this at the time that they're saying that he was. Because they're saying that Brendan was involved in this from the time he got home from the bus to later in the day. But then you have him answering the phone at his mom's house.
Okay, well, Becca, you know as well as I do, we've been there. You get dropped off at the bus stop. We've been dropped off there. Takes
I know.
7 minutes to walk there. To you, where the bus would be turning over. I mean, we even walked up the street just a little bit, like where the bus driver would be seeing things, if she could see him. She couldn't see shit till she got halfway down Avery Road. Then she could see fucking Barb's place and shit like that. You cannot see it from where you're walking. You cannot see right away. You just can't. Okay. And besides that, it took 7 minutes and Teresa wasn't there. He gets dropped off at 2:40, something like that, 3 something, right? 3 or something? Yeah. No. It can all be proven. That phone call needs to be gotten. Mark that spot so we can know what to ask for.
I marked it and I wrote it down in my handy dandy notebook.
Good, because we need to FOIA that and find out if they do have a call for that. That is fucking something you can hand over to the lawyers, and they can use that shit.
So, the focus was trying to convince Mr. Dassey that this was the best thing for him to do was. So, you had interviewed a witness then. And he said at least one, I think. You would think you would remember that.
Exactly. You're trying to get a child off your murder conviction. But yet you only interview one fucking witness. Are you kidding me?
Yep. Yep. Mr. Corley, I may have misspelled his name on the slip. All right, April 27th. You don't have this here, but there's an email that Mike O'Kelly sent you. It's Exhibit 64. There's the volume 2 item again. Yes. Oh, I see it. 27th. Right. You had recalled receiving and reading that. And he said, yes, I do. And this is a report from Michael Kelly about the work he's been doing on behalf of Brendan, correct? Correct. And that he's saying here is that he is in the process of describing, first of all, going out to the property and rather comically expressing the reaction of the Avery family as running around. It was like a field mice watching for a cat. Is that the way he describes it? And that's the second paragraph, the full paragraph on the second page. He said, right, that's his description. He's weird. Okay. Then, 2 paragraphs down from that, I have Barb collecting information regarding Brendan's medical, educational, family history, so we can begin assimilating the mitigation information for sentencing and penal placement. He said, right. Okay, the focus at this point was on sentencing. That's what O'Kelly's doing, right? That's what your investigator is doing, is focusing on sentencing your client.
Yeah, guilty before it's guilty before you prove me innocent. Now, see,
Yeah.
it used to be I'm innocent, and you have to prove me of this, and they could never prove this of him. Any of his words were correct. So
Yeah.
I just, you know, that's why I know they already had the set guilty. They were working against him. You could see it very blatantly that he had no representation that was honest and believed in him at all. None.
Yeah. Well, that was the part of what he was supposed to do, yes. And then questioned by Dvorak. Okay, well, the other thing he was doing was trying to develop information that the state could use, right? And he said, and then against Mr. Avery, correct? Correct. Because he talks about developing inside information that in the immediate days after Teresa was murdered, that Earl moved both the Suzuki and her van to the boneyard. And he's concerned that evidence is going to be degraded and or disposed of in the crusher by the Averys. Okay, go lay down, Dieter. Go. He says it's cleared in the discovery. Detectives are quietly asking about the Suzuki and trying not to sound an alarm for fear of losing the Suzuki and its possible evidentiary contents. Now, this is the knife that we're talking about, right? Right. That he is thinking. I believe so. The knife, by the way, is the knife that they're saying that Brendan said they put in the bottom half of the seat.
Yeah, the black-handled one.
Yeah. That they never could find.
Yeah, that's another one where words don't meet the evidence. Where's the hairs that he cut off her head? Okay, where's a drop of fucking blood anywhere? Where's any of this fucking shit ever came from outside of a fucking book and a movie that he happened to see before he got questioned? We know that for a fact because Brendan said so to his mother, because Dr. Silkman asked, and Barb asked Brendan, and Brendan told her. So yes, this is all Kiss the Girls. Haven't seen it? Go watch it. You'll see Brendan's confession.
Yep. But not only that, they took every knife that was in Stephen's trailer for testing, and not one of them resembled the knife that Brendan had said.
There's no goddamn crime scene there. There's not a fucking piece of evidence that says anybody did anything. Brendan said, well, Mark Wiegert says, well, Brendan, I find it hard to believe that you didn't even see something like a toe or something. Oh, I seen a toe. Then you put a foot down. You add more to this story than what his words even said.
They exaggerate what it is that he's trying to say. He says that he's seen a toe. Also, you seen a foot. I seen a bit of head. Oh, so you seen?
I seen the forehead. So you seen the head. Yeah, they add to it. We did that the first round go round here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're getting into some.
It would be a whole fucking hand or an arm. You know, it's just ridiculous.
If you want to be upset, and get over with it. But if you're really, I mean, I can't stop my emotion. That's just how I am. But reading this stuff, you never really get anything in your head until you see word for word in a trial testimony or a transcript like this, how really screwed everybody was in this case, Stephen and Brendan, both. Don't you agree, Alice? Doing the readings makes you see things you don't. It's in black and white, you know. It's a different it's a different impact. So us all three here reading this for the first time, because we didn't have these until we FOIA'd them. And when we FOIA'd them and you start reading some of this stuff, you get so fucking angry because you have not seen that before, you know? So I'm apologizing to people because I'm getting extremely mad about some of this, but it's only because I've never seen it like this and it really hits me. Okay, so I apologize, but continue, Becca. I just wanted to apologize for that.
Oh, I misspelled yours' name. Really awful. Sorry. Continuing on. Yes. Let me see. Down. Okay. Line 14. Okay, that's your understanding was. So he's looking out for evidence, right? Giving me opinions. Options. It's possible linking evidence in Brendan's truthful testimony, maybe breakthrough that will put their case more firmly on all fours. It says there's a way we can secure the Suzuki and protect them for the prosecution in Avery's case. And we can obtain an SDT to secure both of those items. Right? And he says, yeah, that's what he wrote. Okay, he's looking for you to help him get some kind of search warrant or something to seize or order that will allow him to seize that stuff so they can inspect it. But, yeah. So who is he working for, really? Sounds like he's working for the state.
Yeah.
Every bit of it.
Because they were. They were working for the state. Kaczynski and O'Kelly were working for the state and didn't fucking care what happened to Brendan or what he was going through.
That's what he was asking for, yes. Yeah, okay. And then there's at the next paragraph something grammatically I have a problem with, but he says, I am not concerned with finding connecting evidence placing Brendan inside the crime scene, as Brendan will be the state's primary witness.
And they never used him.
Yeah.
Goes right back
to
they
knew Brendan would go up.
Shit. You should have stopped all this bullshit right there when Stephen got fucking sentenced. It should have been stopped. There's no fucking way that should have went through. Kratz is a fucking total asshole. You should have stopped it. This poor kid lost his life over some bullshit you never even used.
So in other words, he's not concerned that if he's going to come across the evidence that against Brendan that's going to nail Brendan. He's not worried about that. He didn't think that was available or something. You'd have to ask him what he was thinking. Sure, fair enough. This will only serve to bolster the prosecution. It will actually benefit the state if there is evidence attributing to Brendan. It will corroborate his testimony and color him truthful, right? That's what he wrote. Okay, well, did you tell him to stop doing that?
Well, no, he was doing such a good job. We thought he'd hire him for the next job.
Did you tell him to stop doing that, working for the prosecution? That you were? No, I didn't tell him to stop.
Oh, of course not. No, he was doing such a great job. I fucking could sit back and wait for the cameras.
You had providing options. The court let him finish. Dvorak, sorry. Witness. It was his job to provide the options that I would make the decision whether we do it or not. Though these ones in particular, I don't think we ever did. Okay, you had his blessing to go in this direction. And he said, right.
Oh.
See what he could come up with. Right.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to control his number of hours. That would prove to be a real problem, but and up to this point, Brendan's position to you is that he is not guilty. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then he goes on in the next paragraph about salvaging Brendan's future and gathering mitigating. I got it. Information, right? He wrote that. What he wrote. Okay. He has a curious statement here. If the detectives were training in logistics analysis, they would have arrested Brendan close to when they did these. Did you have a discussion with him about what he was talking about? And then he said no. Okay. I didn't discuss it with him. No. Okay. He was also going to try and collect a wood spoon that Barb had apparently used to beat Brendan with when he was a little kid. What?
Oh, God.
What the hell does that have anything to do with
Yeah,
this?
what the fuck? Boy, oh boy.
The
Let's go
wooden
on.
spoon that apparently used to beat Brendan with when he was a little kid. That's what he said. Okay, he also says, I'd like you to practice law and defend your client. I like how you practice law and defend your client. Enjoy working with an ethical defense attorney who is not underhanded and plays hide the ball. You guys were a good team.
Let me puke right now. What the fucking hell? These people are on drugs. I swear to God, they gotta all be sipping some wild Kool-Aid that just don't kill them. I'm not kidding you. Where the hell did they come from?
Oh,
Lord.
I just wrote LOL next to that statement. I guess I had his respect. I certainly had also concerns that he was at times out of hand, especially on the expenditure of hours. It was going way over what was authorized. It was clear to him that it wasn't authorized. He wasn't going to get paid. Okay, fair enough. But his actions were authorized by you. One of the things that he billed for. I gave him a general direction to investigate.
He's not an investigator. He's a goddamn lie detector motherfucking tester. He shouldn't have been out doing shit.
Come up with whatever he could come up with. That was going on with the Avery family. If there was anything that might support or detract from potential alibi, there remained directions I wanted him to look at. All right. On May 1st.
Wait a minute now. This is where he asks a friend, and a friend says, I suggest you cut that branch, right? So O'Kelly had to research through his friends.
All right, on May 1st, you have, and this is a handwritten note that you have, and I'll just ask you. There's a note on one of the pieces of paper that says, Psych on Brendan with question mark. Do you recall that? Look at 361. Let's just do it that way. Maybe that will refresh your recollection. And he said, okay. Do you know what you were thinking about when you wrote that? Psych on Brendan. I believe what this is a number, is a notes that I took during a conversation with O'Kelly because it makes reference to when he would be unavailable. Okay, now he may have talked about whether or not we should have a psychiatric or a psychological evaluation done. And that would have been for the purpose of sentencing, I take it? I believe, I'm not sure what the purposes were going to be. I guess, I don't remember. Okay, but it wasn't, I didn't have anything to do with the motion to suppress. I don't believe so, no. Like 3 days away? That's like 3 days away, right? Yeah. And on May 3rd, or on May 2nd, you file a reply to the DA's memo. You have a phone conference with Judge, and Mr. Kratz following up by an email. Then you talk to the press on May 3rd. Is that right? There was a short phone conference with Anjanette Levy and with Lori Riccardi. Anjanette Levy, which we all know recently is not as awesome as, I'm not sure what it was. Okay. I didn't call them. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Court reporter. One at a time, please. Dvorak. Oh, sorry. Witness. Yes. Okay. On May 3rd, and here's an email to O'Kelly. On May 3rd. You reviewed a strange motion, 2 phone conferences with members of the press, and you reorganize your file for the hearing. The phone conference with Riccardi and organizing your file, the hearing accounts for half an hour, correct? He says right. So your billing records to this day accurately summarize the preparation you did for the hearing on May 4th, and he says yes. By the way, you speculated to the Miranda warnings issue. Did you ever talk to Brendan about that? You're all going to be shocked by this answer. I do not recall if I did or not. Okay. Okay. And did you, as part of the Miranda or as part of the motion to suppress, did you consider any of the police tactics that may have negated the Miranda warnings? I love how Miranda is like in big bold letters in this. Not as they related to Miranda. I did as they related to voluntariness, as the memory items I filed indicate. Okay. How much time did you called Barb at the hearing, right? He said, I did. And when you talked to Barb about the hearing, did you talk to several times before it was conducted? Not for very long periods of time. I know I talked to her. I was just undecided whether to call her. Oh, Jesus Christ. Another time where they, like this, like I said, it's really crazy to me that you have a minor client and you're not calling the parent for things. Like, I would think you would be on the phone all the time with her, but what do I know, right?
Don't you have morals? Don't you have a heart for children? Do you have your own children? Would you like your children to go through this? These are things that would enter my mind no matter what profession. If I was in that profession and this was going on, my moral obligation to people as a parent would be eating me away. Okay. I know you have to keep emotion out of your job when you do this stuff, but honestly, just doing the right thing doesn't make you doing your job wrong. Doing the right thing and doing your job would be the right thing. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You have to put some moral obligation. Your heart has to be in it somewhere if you're going to try to defend people. Okay?
Well,
if not, you go to the fucking other side where the assholes don't want to give a shit about who you are, what you are, or how old you are. Otherwise, you just don't be a defense lawyer. These people are not defense at all. It breaks my fucking heart that poor Brendan, who sat there being told that his lies were truth and his truth were lies, and had nobody there, even keeping his parents away from him. And this is the kind of shit that's supposed to save him. This is supposed to put this boy's future in no worries. He's going to be okay. What a fucked up thing this would do to my mind if this was me. Poor Brendan. I mean, oh God, I commend him. He's such a wonderful man. How he could turn out to be that way after all this is amazing to me. It really is.
So continuing, I was kind of reluctant to call her, but I finally decided, I think a day or two before the hearing, to do it because she would have the best knowledge from being Brendan's mother for all his natural life as to whether or not he was suggestible. So he only called her 3 days before the hearing, and to ask her about these sorts of things. I thought, though, the preliminary evidence as to suppression was the tape itself for 3.5 hours, which the judge had already seen. All right. When you ask her for the question about suggestibility, she seemed to answer. It was kind of non-responsive. Do you remember that? I do. Yeah. Do you think that do you think she even knew what the word suggestibility meant? I don't know what the problem was, because I used the word suggestible, I can't even say the word, and things like that in previous conversations with her, and she seemed to know what it was, so I just quit while I was ahead. Yeah, and I'm just skimming back, just even maybe the last couple of pages on this. There's no indication, at least from April 26th to the present, that you had talked to Barb. Probably not. April 26th, that's sorry. Through the date of the hearing. That sounds about right. Yeah, okay. I don't know how. I'm not going to go back and figure it out, but at least from that period of time, you've never talked to Barb. I don't believe so. Okay. I want to, on May 5th, on the day after the hearing, I want to refer you to 338.
Okay, another reference, yeah.
Yeah, Exhibit 338. Okay, this is an email from you to Wiegert, right? Correct. And Mr. Kratz is copied on it, I believe so. And I can't read what the other one is. Oh, that's Mike O'Kelly. That's right. Don't lie to me. Right. Don't lie to me, O'Kelly, he says. Our investigator. That's what he calls him. You're telling Mr. Wiegert in this, and just for a record, Mark Wiegert is an investigator in this case, right? Correct. Yeah, so you're sending an email to him informing him that Mike O'Kelly has developed some information in the course of talking to Brendan's relatives, but not Brendan, that might shed some light on the whereabouts of the Suzuki and Barb's van, which may contain some evidence useful in this case. You are authorized to talk to him directly, and you give him Mr. O'Kelly's phone number, right? Right. Or by email at the address above and at the CC. This appears to be insignificant in of itself to establish probable cause for another search of the Avery salvage yard. However, it may go a long way toward getting you there. You obviously you had a discussion with O'Kelly about turning over the stuff to the state. The information, yes. Okay, have you ever talked to Brendan that you are about doing that? No. Why would you? Why would you? He's your client. Why would you talk to your client about that? Okay, so you never got Brendan's okay to have your investigator talk to the police and to give the police information that your investigator had gathered in the course of this representing Brendan. That's correct. Would you, and it goes on, would prefer to stay unnamed in the affidavit for a search warrant if all possible? Now I'm assuming that's because you wouldn't want the Avery family or Brendan to know that what's going on. The Avery family, certainly. So it's all underhandedly done. That's nice.
Why don't they want their client to know what they're doing? I mean, they're supposed to be working with him. This is showing the opposite, and it's showing betrayal, deception, manipulation. I don't get what none of this.
Here's more. It's more coming up, Linda. What about Brendan? If Brendan found out about that, do you think it might cause a problem with your relationship with him? I don't think I considered that at that time. You didn't. Sorry, I lost my place. You didn't even think about it. Okay. Mike has not made any direct observations of the subject vehicle, but it might lead you to re-question some witnesses prior to another search warrant application. And then you request some information from the DA's office so that he can look at the aerial photos, right? I request they made available to O'Kelly to view. Those were some of the materials that I did not make copies of. Okay, so you didn't have copies of those already, right? Correct. That's some of the material that you had previously reviewed and decided it really didn't matter much to, as far as you could tell, to Brendan's case. At least not immediately, no. Yeah, okay. Did you ever turn this memo or this copy of this email over to Mr. Freeman?
Yes, we call him Fremgen.
Okay. I don't know if I did or not. Okay. I'm not sure I printed it. Or Mr. Eldenston. Right. Well, Mr. Eldenston was under contract from Fremgen. Okay, on May 7th, Michael Kelly and I refer to Exhibit 65. This is an email from Len Kaczynski to you, correct? It's from Mr. O'Kelly too. I was so confused. This is from Len Kaczynski to you, correct? It's from Mr. O'Kelly to me. Okay. That's why I was like, what? Wait, I thought he's talking to Len Kaczynski. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's right. And Mr. O'Kelly copies Mr. Kratz, Tom Fassbender, Special Agent Fassbender, John Dietering, who was with the Calumet Sheriff's Department, right? Calumet. Right? Correct. And he is notifying you that the prosecution that he's going to be meeting with Brendan on Friday, May 12th, when Brendan returns from the hearing at the Manitowoc County Courthouse, telling you that he would like to start meeting with Brendan upon his arrival. In other words, as soon as Brendan gets back, right? And he says, yes. What's significant on May 12th? I believe May 12th was the decision on the date of motion to suppress, or at least it was supposed to be. Okay, so this is a key day as far as you're concerned in terms of this, of where the case is headed. Whenever whatever that day decision was made, yes. Yeah, and that's the day, that's the key day. All right. He says in bold letters that he's CC'd the prosecutor, Special Agent Fassbender, and Dietering, and makes a request that he wants the following information. And he lists a number, 11 items, right? Right. Just going to jump ahead, because we're almost done with day 1. We're on page 241, and it ends on page 264. So we're actually going really fast today, huh? But we're probably going to end in like the next couple of pages because.
Well, yeah, people think I'm having a fucking mental breakdown or a heart attack or something. I'm really not. It's just that when you read this shit, it just really brings back a lot of really bad shit for Brendan to me. And it's really hard. You know, it's hard to hear this shit. It's hard to see that they're supposed to be a defense and they really worked against him. And I mean, honestly, their behavior is so unprofessional. I mean, who does these things? Apparently we know these guys do. So I don't need that smart ass from left. But does it really go on like this everywhere? That is a very sad thought. Okay. So, I mean, it gives you a lot to think about. You know, I'm not just thinking of Brendan ever in, you know what I mean? It is Brendan. And of course I'm thinking of Brendan during this, but I also think of the future and how these people are allowed to continue their jobs. You know, I mean, O'Kelly's still out there. Len Kaczynski was too until he started being a meow freak. Okay. You know, I mean, but you got to be, okay, let's put it this way. These people that did this do have underlining problems. You can see it because Ken Kratz had a sexting and a pill popping problem. Okay. He got caught for it and fired for it. Okay. Or he retired for it, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Len Kaczynski, he goes on all these years and does his thing, and boom, bam, boom. You find out that he's a meow freak, okay? And he's doing kind of the same thing to women, you know, scaring them, of course, you know, and other things. It's a sexual harassment type thing at the workplace. So you can see that at least some of them are getting caught at their other underlining issues they have in life. So they're not normal. But I don't understand. In a post-conviction, which means Brendan's already been convicted, and they're going over this, and the judges still don't see the flaws because he was denied this.
Yeah.
So do you understand? My smartest or my dumbest, like I told you, will never be able to. My brain cell, the smartest one or the dumbest one, will never wrap around any of this. I don't think like this, and I don't understand how anybody could be considered a defense lawyer acting like this, or how any reasonable judge. Any reasonable judge.
They're not. They weren't defense lawyers in Brendan's trial.
No.
A defense lawyer does everything in their power to investigate, call people, interview people, go and visit the fucking client who's in the jail, which he didn't for fucking days or months. That's not a defense lawyer. A defense lawyer goes out of their way to try and get all the information possible to help their client so that they can present it at trial. Whether the majority is true or false, it's the fact that they've done their job and they've tried to investigate it, and they didn't. They were against that Wayne for the start.
Yep. Yeah. It's sad. It's really sad that you know, even when Brendan asked for a new lawyer, they said they didn't see the point. Well, the point was he thinks I'm guilty. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the point, and I've never heard of anybody being denied that right to have fair counsel or fair, you know, representation. That just does not go. Okay, it just doesn't go, and I've never seen it anywhere. It's not supposed to be that way. You're supposed to be able to have trust in your lawyers, and you have no lawyer. So you're saying this lawyer thinks I'm guilty. Can we please do this? it also goes back, and post-conviction should never be brought in front of the same damn judge that
No.
convicted you, because what judge is going to say, oh, I made a mistake?
I made a mistake. Exactly, Linda.
Not happening. So it's unfair. It's unfair. There's no fair trial. The word fair, look it up. It is not meeting these things here. Fair is not, it's going against an unbiased, okay? And there's very much bias going on here throughout the whole
including
thing.
the judge. Including the judge.
Mostly the judge, if you ask me.
That boggles my mind. That boggles my mind that over there in America, the judge that sentences you is also the judge that looks at your appeal. No judge in the right mind is going to stand up and go, oh, I'm sorry, I got it fucking wrong. You know what I mean?
They're not gonna.
Go, there's the keys. Away you go and let yourself free. There is no way that they're going to do that. So for Brendan and even Stephen to get the same judges looking at their appeal decisions is wrong, because they're never going to fucking admit that they got it wrong in the first place. So they're just going to stick to their conviction.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Brendan had issues with language as it was. If they're using so many paragraphs and trying to describe one small thing for him, they needed to. His lawyer said he didn't talk much. Well, you know, he didn't feel comfortable with you. Couldn't you sense that? You know, until you started talking about something you had in common.
And plus you also got to understand.
He has to understand the procedures, and he never discussed the procedures.
Well, you got to understand that Brendan has been through a lot of mental torture and all of that at this point with the detectives. That for all intents and purposes, any adult that he doesn't know that walks into that room could be just like them.
Yep, exactly. And I'm sure he's thinking of that. Exactly. Yeah, but you know that this is post-conviction, so the things that we're reading here is after he's been convicted. You cannot tell me that a judge that was not involved in the case from beginning would not look at this biasly and see that he did not get representation. We are not lawyers, judges, or even know the law that well to know that these people did not do their job. You know, is there a question that Dvorak didn't ask that would have maybe changed that for Brendan? I'm wondering, you know, because there's just so much evidence here of not having a fair trial or even fair preparation.
You know, and to be fair, all of the Brendan's lawyers at this point can do at this stage is present the facts and stuff, and it's up to the current judge, who is the same judge ruling in all of this.
Yeah, only thing I can say is that's what I mean. No matter what lawyer, like Jack said, O'Kelly and Kaczynski sealed the deal for Brendan to not have a fair trial. You know what I'm saying? And it's because any lawyer that goes after this is trying to show that, you know, show the wrong. All right. And you're okay. First of all, you're going against the state with their, you know, and that's always going to be a problem. But if you're in front of the same judge and the people that you're asking on the stand to tell the truth, and these are supposed to be people who tell the truth, they lie. I mean, Ben Kaczynski, when he was talked about, you know, the whatever that statement he made, I can't, you know, remember the awful statement he made about Brendan, and he said he didn't make it, and they played it for him, and he said, oh, well, I guess so. Yeah, I did say that. Because he goes, well, why? If you say that statement, what would that say? Well, it would say that he's pretty much guilty. Well, that's what you said, and they played it for him.
I love.
So they're lying even in post-conviction. So how can you really feel that they're going to tell the truth when you're questioning what they did? They did. They're not going to admit it. You need a judge.
And I mean, the police and everything like that were involved in this case, they've all been bloody promoted where they should be demoted, not promoted. They should have been sacked on the spot. There should have been pensions and everything taken away from them. But they got bloody promoted. Fuck's sake, Mark Weaker is now the fucking sheriff.
Oh yeah, well, he's got a scare face.
How can they sleep at night knowing what they did to this laddie? You know what I mean? Even the en banc judges.
Yeah.
There was 3 of them. that were in Brendan's favour and said his confession was coerced and everything like that. The investigators should have known better about how they were talking to him and how they were treating him and everything like that. And then there was the other ones that was coming back saying, "Oh no, they done nothing wrong."
Well, you see, it just is always going to be. They wanted Stephen for what fucked up reasons we really don't know outside of 36 million, and it made the state look bad. Well, if you're going to go to these lengths for that, what the hell are you going to do if somebody hits your car?
Yeah.
I must wonder how they make it through life. And it is something that started a long time ago, before Brendan. You know what I mean? And these people have been corrupt in running the state the way they wanted to, and they don't want to look bad. They don't want other things to come out, because if one thing like this come out, then they're going to question everything else they did. You know what I mean? So the judges already got that in their mind when they're looking at a post-conviction. Well, if I say I'm wrong, they're going to look at this and this and this. You know, it would open up doors for this and this and that. And they just didn't want to do it. They don't care. They're keeping their lies buried. They're not doing the right thing. I guess justice is not being met. And it hasn't. And I don't know if you keep up the way that they do this, if there ever will be justice for anybody. It could just get worse.
Right. You're right.
Like I said, all these people that say, well, you know, he was convicted, blah, 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 you know, or why are you fighting for him? Well, like I say, well, what if it was your son? Wouldn't you want something done?
Yeah, I say that a lot. I said that to my coworker.
Yep.
She might be listening. If she is, hi. But I said that to her too.
Because my other thing is,
I would do it for anybody's. I would do it for anybody's kid.
I would too. Hashtag innocent should mean something. Okay, being innocent should mean something to everybody. Okay, and if this was your son, you would want something done, and you would be standing up here. So for everybody that doesn't understand why we are so strongly standing up here and doing this, if it was your son, we'd help you. Okay, we would be on your side if this was happening.
Your son, your daughter, your
cousin, daughter, your son, your mother, your brother, whoever,
your sister, your mom, your dad.
At home, right? We would be doing it for you.
Jordan is right in saying this is not about seeking truth and justice. This is about seeking and keeping conviction and burying lies. Yes, it is. And Londoner says, nobody in their right mind could see the way Brendan was treated and believe he received a fair legal process. It's outrageous. Yes, it is. And the more and more that you actually read
this stuff, it hits more and more.
And everything like that, the amount that you discover that wasn't in the documentary and things like that, because remember, I mean, we've all been duped by a documentary. We've not got the intelligence to go and search these things and look for these
That's
things.
Right, we're all a bunch of cult leaders
like
or
that,
something.
You know what I mean? We're
not
just
leaders,
been
no.
By a documentary. It's only then that you actually see the disgusting
reading documents
behavior.
Like Nan's life said earlier in the chat, unless you just watch Meow, you get angry and you can understand and see something. But when you read the documents and you dig into it further, because like I said, it starts from 1995 or 85 for Stephen, which drags into Brendan into the 2000s. So it starts way back, and you have to understand that case in order to really understand what's going on in this case. But not even knowing that, you still will get it. You know what I mean? You will get it by reading. But the more you read, the madder you get, the worse it is in reality. It hits you like, this really is in every which way was not fair at all from the start. Very start.
No. I mean, but what pisses me off the most is that Governor Evers isn't even
read it,
taking the time to actually. I mean, you'd think he'd be getting pissed off with everybody sending emails and videos and everything like that to his office and everything like that, to actually understand, right, well, come on. All these people are saying stuff. 250 experts are saying he's innocent. All these other people are saying that he's innocent.
He is
They
a
can't
teaching
all be
guide.
wrong.
He's a
You know what
teaching
I mean?
guide.
And he's
Brendan's,
always said
yeah.
that he's for the people and for children. Well, Brendan was a child, and probably mentally in some sort of way, he probably still is, because he was a 15-year-old child gone into jail. You know what I mean? So he's not had the life experiences and everything like that that a normal 15-year-old would have had. You know? And the
Yep.
fact
Yeah.
that he is just ignoring everybody is beyond me. And he's going to run. He says, I've heard rumours and that he's going to be running again.
Yep.
Well, I would say to all the people in Wisconsin that believe in that Brendan is innocent, then if there's
Protest
somebody
his
else
stuff.
out
Do not
there
let him
who
in.
is going to be doing something for the justice system and everything like that, then vote them in. Or get in touch with Governor Evers and say, well, you start doing what you said you were going to do and be there for your people. Well, Brendan is one of his people and he's been wronged, and he should do something about it. He should be looking at that case, and for what I've picked up, I know it's his parole board, and he can go over the parole
my
board
next suggestion.
if I've got that right. So make that decision and set that laddie free, because he deserves it.
Hear, hear. Linda? Linda? Did I fall out?
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Well,
now what I was going to say, I really want to quickly get this out. If
Yeah.
you want to start tweeting something different, this is what I started to do. I only did it once, but I am going to continue. It's just a suggestion that you might want to ask Evers to read his case and see how so many thousands of other people believe he's innocent. Suggest to him reading the case in some way, because he has not read the case. He has not picked up the things. We know this. If he did, he would change his mind. I firmly believe that if he read some of Brendan's stuff or seen the interrogation or anything, he would change his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
But not only that, I'd like to say to the people watching and everything like, or anybody coming new to the case or anything like that, if Brendan's confession was so truthful and done properly and everything like that, then why the hell are other police forces and other lawyers using Brendan's confession and stuff like that as something of what not to do?
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
because I think it was Londoner. If it wasn't Londoner, it was WATP the other day. There was saying that they had a friend that's involved with law or something like that, and even here they're using Brendan's confession as what not to do.
Yeah,
that's right. He's a teaching guide for millions and millions of people. So
exactly.
Yes,
so
Kim,
if
talk to Tracy, see if she'll do the next step by saying read the case somehow. He needs to read the case. He has not done anything. Josh Call is stopping it all. That's a new phrase. Josh Call stops it all, because that is who is below the governor, and he is the one that proceeds to bring it up to the governor. So he is the one that stops it all. Josh Call stops it all. Hashtag Josh Call stops it all. New protest.
Just real quickly, and then we'll wrap this
I'm
up.
done, yeah.
But Man's Life, what I've been doing, and which has been really cool, Foul Play has been posting little clips from Making a Murder and all that. I've been taking those and tweeting them to Evers too. So that's an idea on getting more info out there to him. But yeah, no, so Evers.
Love it, Yoraz. Love it. Hashtag Governor Evers, please read. And he spelled the read, like the read technique, the case. Wonderful.
Yeah, that is good.
And under hashtag Josh Call stops it all.
But yeah,
That's the truth.
any
Yes.
way that you want to, I personally think snail mail is more effective to Evers, but email, tweet, I tweet to him almost every day too, so
Yes,
don't
you
get
do.
me wrong.
And you get on all of his feeds.
Yeah, he knows my name, I'm sure he does, but
You'll see your face soon too.
yeah.
You'll put a face to the name.
Yeah.
Because we'll have it on our shirts.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so definitely, any way you can reach Evers, and any way you can just get his name, Brendan's name out there. And hopefully, I'm hoping, I've always kind of had this underlying hope that by the end of his term, he might do something. And
Me
I
too, but
guess
now
that
he's
kind of
running again.
still, well, and we don't know if he'll win or not. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe that's something that he'll do the last thing before he leaves. If he doesn't
calls
make
it political suicide. I would call it a political wonder. If he did.
Has he made a statement saying it would be political suicide, or
No,
is that just
other people have?
People have? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So I hope though that that's still, because I have hope. I always have hope.
I do too. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have hope.
In a sense, it's no political suicide if he's retiring and not going to run again. Then do it then. You know what I mean?
Why they think
but if he is going to run again, then fair enough. Wait until he's in the door. But then actually look at the case, because it pisses me off that when you send the email that you get the letter back saying, oh well, Brendan doesn't
qualify for the pure innocence does,
like that, because he's on the sex offenders register and everything like that. But he never done anything. There is no proof that this even happened, so he shouldn't be on any register.
They look at the conviction, not the true innocence, and that's the problem with the justice system. Because you got a conviction, they won't even look into if you are truly innocent. And Brendan is truly innocent, and I am afraid that they know if the governor was to see anything like this, that he would let him out. And I think that's why Josh Call stops it all.
Yeah. Well, closing today's discussion, does anybody have any last comments, suggestions?
Somebody got a blood pressure medicine? No. No, it's a good release for that. I'm sorry if I get a little passionate.
No, I don't.
It does hurt.
No reason to be sorry. You're a very passionate person, and that's why you're here. So
yeah, that's why I'm angry.
Yeah, but anything you want to plug, Linda?
Hopefully Sean will be back with me next week, and we will be doing the grind our gears. And other than that, just a normal foul play. Uncle Ken's getting really good. And that's every Saturday morning, 6:30 Central. And then open mic, but Jax is taking a little vacay. He's on sabbatical this week. So hopefully he'll be back next week with a great open mic, because them are wonderful. I love that. I love the discussions.
I had a thought for an open mic discussion. I'll have to send to J-Jax. So
yeah, there we go.
I had an idea, so we'll see if that gets picked up. But
cool.
And what about you, Alice? Anything that you want to say? Comment, suggestions, plugs?
Oh, I know she's gonna do it too. So that we all wish just Rhonda our best, and hopefully she feels better. So
always praying for Rhonda.
Yeah, just sending love to Rhonda, and hopefully thanks for everybody in the chat for joining us. Please subscribe, share, get Brendan's name out there, spread it far and wide, keep shouting, keep screaming, and keep getting angry, because it's hard not to get angry. And we are all very, very passionate about what has happened to Brendan. And as Linda says, we do apologise for the language. Well, in fact, no, I don't apologise for the language.
I don't
because that's
apologize
just
for
me.
language.
And I am
just apologize for
passionate
going
about
on.
this case,
Yeah.
and it gets me every time when we're reading about it. So
Yes, it
big
does.
love to Brendan and big love to everybody, and thanks for coming.
Yep. Thank
Yeah.
you, everybody. Thank you for being there for us and for Brendan the most. You guys are great supporters.
Yeah. So yeah, that concludes it. So make sure you
Thanks, Becca.
really, thank you guys. I always enjoy doing this with you guys. We'll be doing this again next Sunday, and next Remember Friday is Positively Brendan Friday, and you might
look
see
at the merch.
Yeah, look at the merch.
It's
The
great.
links in the description, and you might see me pop on live depending on if I get more merch or not. So
Yay.
yeah,
Always look forward to it.
yeah,
You're
I'm
doing a great
excited.
job,
Oh my God.
Becca. Let's hear it for Becca. Woo woo.
Well, you are doing a great job too, Linda, and so are you, Alice. Us as a collective of supporters make a great team with each other, and
Yes, I love the fact that you take in what supporters, because that was the whole idea. Let's get everybody involved, and I'm so thankful for that, aren't you? That there's so much.
Oh yeah.
respect for
Oh,
this.
absolutely. That
Yeah.
Brendan would not have the community he has if it wasn't for the supporters in it.
That's
so,
right.
And
Amen.
I know a lot of people are like, you do a great job, Becca. I can only do a great job
if they're there to help.
If they're there to help me.
That's
too.
right.
So we're all here together. We're all doing this for Brendan. So really, thank you all too. So, but yeah, that's it. So
if you can see, I changed my icon to the rally.
That's
so I'm
last year's
supporting
rally.
the rally. That was the rally I was in at 2 years ago, and I cannot wait. It's coming up. We are all going to be in MFMM H house. We're doing good things. We're doing good things at the rally.
House, Team Foul Play House.
Yeah, and we're doing good things this year. We're doing really good things thanks to Jinx's suggestion and Becca's getting her, little permissions and whatnot. We're doing it the right way, and it's really going to be good. And if you're in Wisconsin and you want to join in our Madison rally in front of the governors, we're going to do it when, Becca?
The Monday after the rally.
Time.
I don't know what day that is.
It's Monday.
That's the following Monday. So if the rally is on the 10th or the 11th, then it's going to be on the 13th or something like that.
Yes, it'd be Monday at 11 to 3, I think. Yep.
11 to 3, and I'll post. I'll be posting on social media location.
I'll be going live.
Where we're going to be meeting
and
up.
I'll be going live.
Stuff.
So yeah.
Yeah. And we are planning on going to Calumet County.
Yeah.
that Friday before, and you'll be seeing me panicking a lot. So
but we'll be okay, sweetie. You'll be okay. We're all gonna be having the fear of seeing little fucking Liegert. I'll tell you what.
If you guys show up to that one, I'll do story time and tell you guys why I'm panicking and freaking out. I don't want to say it here.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who's watching. So.
Yeah, exactly. But really, we got a lot of things going on, and I'm really looking forward to meeting some of the people I haven't met and spending some time with them and doing a really good thing by going in front of who needs to hear us. I like that.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of brave people. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, see you guys next time.
Yep. Bye. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye.